Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is VIN0621. You guys like to know if it's a salvage title or not? Salvage title alert. So if you're not looking for a salvage title car, keep moving. VIN0621. This is a 2016 1H9, which is Nebula Gray Pearl with LA20 black interior. Popped up here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area on IAAI auctions with 116,000 miles, and it's hid in the left rear. This car is pretty well known in the GSF community. It was a victim of a hit and run. The guy had a dash cam and caught everything on camera, chased the guy for like 15 minutes because the police wouldn't intercept him. And kind of a sad way to end, but this car, like the other one that I just did a deep dive on, 2324, it has frame damage, and so that's what totaled it. And not only is it hit in probably the most expensive part of the car to repair, which is the rear quarter panels, other than the front grille, it has frame damage. And so it pushed the subframe in and it's damaged the unibody. And so that is very expensive. The quote from the other car that I did, 2324, was like $27,000. And so it's repairable, yes, but with this car having 116,000 miles, you're talking about retail value probably in like the mid to upper 30s if it was clean and perfect. And so I would say you adjust down 30 to 40% of that for a salvage title. You're looking at like mid 20s, upper 20s retail value once it's fixed with a salvage title. And so I think that you have to be able to get this cheap enough in order to either A, if you're gonna resell it, make a profit, or B, if you're gonna fix it and drive it. I think it's more than just an alignment. If you just try to, get some adjustable toe links and make it correct itself just so you can drive it, I don't think it's gonna get there because it does have a bent frame. On a plus side, at least the guy got arrested. So, he got all that on video. Great to see at least that's, that part of the story is a good ending, but the rest of it's kind of sad because here we are, yet another 2016 gone on the wayside. Production statistics, I didn't write it in my notes, but I will leave it right here for you. Nebula Gray Pearl is a 2016 only color. I believe there's 157 of them. I'm just going off my memory here. Let's see how good it is. But the LA20 interior is the more common interior that you see. Carfax, Epic VIN, AutoCheck. My system is not working for Carfax and AutoCheck right now that I use, but I do have my older Carfax, and it looks like it's either a 2 or 3 owner car, and the only accident that exists is the one that happened in September of 25, which is this accident. Previous sales, February of 2016, $88,000 in Kentucky, and it was still for sale a couple months later in April of 2016 for $80,000, so they dropped the price $8,000. December of 2020, which is probably about the cheapest you were ever gonna get these cars, $47,500 with 64,000 miles in Kentucky as well, and that looks like that's probably where this current owner acquired it, so he's been a long-term owner. So now onto the photos. So looking at the options on this car, this was actually one of the few cars that was factory equipped with paint protection film, and so usually when that is, it's like a half hood and a full bumper, headlights, things like that, but it's a 3M factory installed paint protection film, and it's on the window sticker for this car. But it really looks pretty clean overall. I don't see really any major issues otherwise. So obviously just look at the damage, inspect the damage very carefully, and you should have a pretty good car as long as you can get the frame repaired. Service history. This car is extremely well dealer serviced. Brakes, oil, tires, pretty much that's all it had early on. October of 2019, the AC servos, one of them was replaced, and the servo sweep was done, common issue on these cars, and the KLG customer service program was done, and that is the GPS showing you in the wrong position, so that was corrected and done. September of 2020, the 60,000 mile service is done at 60,000 miles. So that's spark plugs, inspect the belts, probably replace the belts, just a very in-depth inspection otherwise. April of 2024, a squeaking noise from the engine bay when idling was noted, and they couldn't replicate it, couldn't fix it. I know from personal experience, that is the high pressure fuel pumps. They're mechanical pumps, they make noise, they sound like chirps or squeaks, and that's just what they sound like. My orange car, it has had the fuel pumps replaced twice under warranty for that, and it still didn't resolve the issue. So that is something of note, but they just make noise. March of 2025, the driver's door was noted as squeaking. Very common issue. They adjusted it and it went away. The blue one that we just picked up. that driver door squeaks. And the last time that it was at the Lexus dealer was September 15th, 2025, which is right after the accident. It was with 116,000 miles, it was towed into the body shop. And that's probably where they had the back and forth with the insurance and they determined it was totaled. So the retail price on this car, if it was retail ready, clean, ready to go, service, no issues, doesn't need brakes, doesn't need tires, nothing like that, probably somewhere in like the $38,000 to $41,000, $42,000 range. Probably on the lower end of that, but it is a very clean car and it was a no accidents car prior to that. So that's probably where I would put this car right now here at the end of 2025. You have to adjust down 30 to 40% for a salvage title car. So if this car was fixed, adjust that price down 30 to 40%. So at that point, you're looking at upper 20s, and that's probably where this car would be, $28,000, $29,000. The other rebuilt title cars that I've seen have sold recently, $28,000 to $32,000. Those had between 80 and 130,000 miles. So that's probably, again, where this car should be, 29, 30,000 retail. So that means if you're bidding on this, you have to leave room to fix it without going in the hole. And so that puts it probably, you'd have to pick this car up like $17,000 to $18,000 plus fees, which puts you around $20,000. That leaves you $10,000 to repair it and fix it, and you're not in the hole. And the frame damage, of course, is the big question. That's why they totaled it. And so it's probably in excess of $10,000 to fix this car. So you have to get it cheap enough, otherwise financially it doesn't make sense. At that point, it becomes a parts car. These cars are very valuable as parts cars. A $20,000 one, you can make easily double your money on it for parts. And so that's why a lot of the cheaper ones, higher mileage, end up being parts cars. Would I buy this one if I'm looking to buy a car to rebuild? Absolutely. It has good bones otherwise. It was well serviced. It doesn't have the 120,000 mile service done, which that's coming up. That's spark plugs and the fluids and everything again. Brakes, tires, the usual. Inspect the carbon fiber, the usual things that you need to look at on this car, and nothing about the valley plate. So inspect the valley plate, otherwise you're gonna be on the hook for that as well. So there's definitely some more expenses that you have to put into this other than just the repairs. So that is something to consider, but it has good bones. So definitely worth looking at if you're looking at rebuilding one of these. VIN0621, and I will leave a link to the full video as long as it's still up from the owner in the video description, so you can check that out. It's really interesting. It's kind of sad to see that people still hit and run this day and age. The guy didn't have any license plates, but he had a valid license, valid insurance, things like that. So it's really odd, but worth checking out, VIN 621. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.